Okay, today we're talking about a real superstar, a true national icon from down under. This is the bird that basically put Australia on the global poultry map. Let's get into it. Meet the Australorp.
So let me ask you a question. Do you think it's possible for a chicken to lay an egg pretty much every single day of the year? I mean, it sounds crazy, right? Like some kind of biological machine working overtime. But what if I told you it's not just possible, it actually happened? And the number is this: 364. Yeah, just take a second to let that number sink in.
So what's that all about? Well, that is the number of eggs laid by one single hen in 365 days. A world record set way back in the 1920s. Can you imagine? This one Australorp hen just shattered every record on the books and completely blew the minds of breeders all over the world. This wasn't just good, this was legendary stuff.
All right, so a feat like that, it makes you wonder how in the world you even create a chicken that can do that. Well, let me tell you, it was no accident. This was the result of years and years of super careful, really deliberate work by some very clever Australian breeders. The whole story really kicks off in the 1890s. That's when British Black Orpingtons were first brought into Australia. But the Aussie breeders looked at these birds and thought, we can do better. So through the early 1900s, they started tinkering, selectively crossbreeding, and just refining the line. And it all paid off. By 1922, 1923, their chickens were in these egg-laying trials, smashing those world records we just talked about. That's what got them global fame and eventually led to their official recognition in America by 1929.
So what was the secret recipe? How'd they do it? Well, they started with a really solid foundation, those British Black Orpingtons. But then they started mixing in some special ingredients. For pure egg-laying power, they added a dash of Minorca and White Leghorn, the champions of egg production. Then, to make the birds hardy and useful, they mixed in some Langshan and Plymouth Rock. And here's the key: nothing was random. Every single step, every cross, had one goal in mind: to create the absolute peak egg-laying performer. Okay, so you've created this incredible new super chicken. What do you call it? It needed a name that really captured its Australian roots and its powerhouse performance. And believe it or not, figuring that out actually sparked a bit of a debate. Initially, the name was pretty straightforward: Australian Black Orpingtons. A bit of a mouthful, right? Breeders wanted something with more punch. Then in 1919, a breeder, Arthur Harwood, had a great idea. He suggested taking Austral, for Australia, and adding Orp to pay tribute to its Orpington heritage. Put them together, Australorp. And that's the name that took off, the one that became famous all around the world. So we've established they are absolute rock stars when it comes to laying eggs. But what else is there to know about the Australorp? What's the whole package? Let's dive into the breed profile. Right, this is super important to understand. The Australorp isn't just a one-trick pony. It's what's known as a dual-purpose breed. And what that means is, yeah, they're amazing egg layers, for sure. But they're also big, solid birds, which means they're good for meat, too. That made them incredibly practical and valuable, especially back in the day.
And you can really see that utility in their size. You've got your standard-sized birds, which are pretty hefty. The males can get up to around 4 kilos. That's nearly 9 pounds. But what's really cool is that they also developed a bantam version. It's like a perfect little miniature, about a quarter of the size, but with all the same great personality and productivity. Perfect for people with smaller backyards.
Now, when you think Australorp, you probably picture that classic shiny black chicken, right? But what's wild is how many colors they actually come in. In Australia, their home turf, you'll find black, white, and blue recognized. In the US, it's just black. But then you look at a place like South Africa, and wow, they've got buff, splash, golden, a whole bunch of others. It just goes to show how this breed has traveled the world and been embraced in different ways. Okay, so we have to talk about that crazy egg-laying record again. Let's manage expectations a little bit here. While 364 is the legend, that's not what you should expect from your average hen today. A modern Australorp is still a great layer, don't get me wrong. They'll give you around 190 eggs a year. But that 1920s record, that was the absolute pinnacle, a once-in-a-lifetime achievement, really, a testament to the incredible skill of those original breeders. So, after that explosive debut, the Australorp just took the world by storm. It became a global phenomenon, but its story over the last 100 years, well, it's taken a turn. It's led to a situation today that's, well, it's pretty surprising and, honestly, quite complicated. I mean, its success was just massive, and it happened fast.
The Australorp became one of Australia's most famous agricultural exports ever. Seriously. Today, you can find them everywhere, on all 5 inhabited continents. They're in backyards and on farms from North America to Africa. It's a truly global chicken. And this is where the story gets really strange. Here's the paradox. While the Australorp is thriving all over the planet with healthy populations everywhere, back home in Australia, where it all began, the breed is officially listed as at risk, endangered. The very bird that Australia shared with the world is now in trouble in its own backyard. It just leaves you with this big question, doesn't it? It makes you think about what happens when something becomes globally popular and maybe gets forgotten at home. It makes you ask what it really means to preserve a piece of living heritage. So the question is, how does a national treasure, a world-famous super chicken, end up endangered in the very country that created it?